We just walked by Martin Short, and he went into... Totally have a screen over the window, so you can't even tell.
It's no accident that they went in there. That kind of place caters to this kind of clientele.
So now what we're gonna have to do, check out the menu.
Yeah, we really got to be discreet.
A very successful client. But Johnson's gift is hustle. It's just, you know.
I think I've got the room both in my stomach and my checking account.
Hold on, so you're not sure if you have...
Yeah, I've got at least 50 in the checking. I'm thinking I should stop by an ATM and move some things around just to be sure we have a cushion.
I just said there are endless opportunities out there. I agree.
Oh, definitely. Especially in this neck of the woods. They call it Union Square because people come together here.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I don't want to be a dick and just interrupt them in the middle of chewing the hard steak. Right across the way at the enchilada.
And I hope there's a star there. I think I'd rather get an enchilada. But then the decimal is replaced by a 0 when you continue typing. So you got to add an extra 0.
So the ATM was really fucked up, so we're going to try and find another one. Yes, we got the dough. And we're going to be casually late enough so that Martin Short probably doesn't think we're in there because of him.
If by any chance...
the hell was that?
Pot, as long as that wasn't my money coming out of it. If there's any chance that he caught a glimpse of us, by now, the fact...
I've forgotten it.
You know, even if he remembers us, he won't associate us with having followed him there, because, I mean, a good 15-20 minutes has passed since I first spotted him.
I'm not going to go in with my camera blazing.
That'd be a good idea.
I think that rather to be Pierce Brosnan and James Bond. I'll put it away. We're almost there.
We'll have a dramatization later on.
Yeah.
Hey Rob, do we have Bernie Bronco?
Martin Short's over there. Since he's right over there, we're going to go over there, and Adam's going to be on one side, and I'm going to make sure my belt buckle's glimmering in his face.
I wish I had a camera in my eyes. That went perfectly. It couldn't have gone better. It was smooth. It was off the cuff. It was casual. It wasn't the least bit oppressive. I think both of you were kind of cool about it.
Just keep walking, just in case.
Yeah. They chuckled for a few seconds after you left and just went right back to what they were doing. They weren't bothered. They weren't adversely affected in any way. It was just something that happened to them on their night. I think that's all that you wanted, just a nice little thing to happen.
Now, since you saw everything, and I just did my thing, explain to the home audience what I just did.
Well, on your way out, you just kind of gave him a little tap like, hey, you know, I just want to say you're one of my favorite comedians. There are a couple of directions he could have gone. He just could have been totally dismissive. He could have been dismissive but a little flattered, like, oh yeah, thank you. He just... like not lit up like he was in front of a Broadway audience, but just lit up like casually, like, oh, thank you, yeah. Like he seemed really sincere. He's and then of course you showed off the belt buckle. I think you're one of my favorite comedians, and I hope you like my belt buckle. He kind of had to look for a second just for it to register what he was seeing, but he did see it. He did acknowledge it, and him and his friend kind of thought it was a little cute. You didn't overstay your welcome. I think that was the best part of it. I just
went, hey, you're cool, you're great, I don't want to bother you, I'm sorry, I just want to say you're one of my favorite comedians. Hope you like my belt buckle, davidjr.com.
And then just walked.
And then what happened when I left? Because you were hidden, planted in the audience. What happened?
You see, the reaction, that's really determined how they felt. And I don't think they knew I was a plant. I was kind of just tapping away at my phone. I could have been texting. You don't know what I'm doing. I didn't even look directly up the whole time. They more or less went back to what they were talking. They kind of chuckled about it for a second, and then they started talking about things that I don't know whether or not they were related to you. They're like saying something like, "Oh, here he comes." They could have been talking about a waiter. And a good 15 seconds later, Mr. Short leaned into the bar, and I don't know if he was asking for another drink or just to get a table, but he needed something. That kind of worried me. That kind of made me think, maybe he doesn't want to be standing in the bar section anymore because he's, open to passersby. Right. Maybe he wants to sit down where he can't be bothered. But I think enough time had passed between Junior's visit and his, leaning into the bar, saying, hi, excuse me. I think enough time passed for me to conclude that they were unrelated. I think overall it didn't really leave a big dent in his evening, and I think that's a good thing.
No.
No eye rolling, no like, oh Jesus,
It was just
nothing
sort of
like that.
haha. His friend who was with him was very appreciative also. He was like, oh, thanks. Oh, it's no problem. When I said, I'm sorry to bother, I just want to say you're great. Shook his hand, got out of there. He saw my site. Whether he goes to it or not,
That's up to him now.
That's up
We'll
to
see
him.
what he retains from the night. You know,
we were so underdressed. We had t-shirts and jeans on, and everyone else in there had a suit.
I think we both represented our respective values. You had the Sean the Joker on. That was your thing. You know, you weren't hiding anything.
Right.
I had my Maya and Miguel. That's what I'm all about at the moment.
Right.
I like to think that when I kind of scooted past him, he caught a glimpse of the pop.
Yeah, he's going to check out the show. It's DavidJr.com and AdamModiano.com.
And maybe he'll do a voice for the show. And even though everything's recorded, we could just throw out a track that a lesser person did and just keep his stuff.
Yeah, good idea. You were about this far away.
About this far away from Mr. Short and his companion, which, out on the sidewalk, we're pretty close, but in a cramped place like that, this is a mile, this is a universe apart. So I don't feel like I was intruding on their space, and I don't think they even received me as having intruded on their space. I think it went well. This was a good on-the-scene encounter. I'm happy with it.
So it's DavidJr.com and AdamModiano.com for On the Scene.